Like I said, Clara finished her speech. The meta has changed. If you try to grief others, you only nerf yourself.
Karma isn't a bug. It's the main feature. The crowd stood up. The hype level was off the charts. Clara walked off the stage, her mustard yellow heels clicking with the rhythm of victory. Marcus met her at the side stage. Well played, Ma. The snake is back in the dungeon. What's the next objective? Clara looked at her mustard yellow world. Let's update the Elder Havens, Marcus. I want to build a server where nobody ever feels expired tier again. The Sterling Academy of Ethical Wealth, a high-resolution campus built with mustard yellow glass and eco-friendly tech. The students are all Gen Z and Gen Alpha geniuses who were once low-tier or homeless. Clara is standing at the front of a holographic lab, teaching a class of future bosses. Clara was now the Grand Master of the social impact meta. She had realized that deleting one herald wasn't enough. The world was full of glitched personalities waiting to scam their way to the top. She needed to buff the good players. Listen up, noobs, Clara said, her voice crystal clear through the classroom's Dolby Atmos system. In this room, we don't simp for loot. We grind for legacy. If you see a broke player on the street, you don't ignore them. You analyze their potential. I was that broke player. A young girl named Maya, who was a coding prodigy Clara rescued from a group home server, raised her hand. Madam Clara, the global markets are lagging because of a new pump and dump scheme by a group called the Void Simps. They're targeting elderly savings accounts. Should we initiate a counterhack? Clara's eyes glowed with mustard yellow pride. Not just a counterhack, Maya. We're going to expose their source code. We're going to show the world that toxic trading is a dead-end quest. Cut 2. The Void Simp's secret base. Inside a dark web bunker, a group of edgy hackers were laughing. Their leader was a guy named Neo Harold, a 22-year-old who idolized the original Harold Sterling. He even had a low-res poster of Harold's tax evasion arrest on his wall. We're going to drain the pension vaults today, boys, Neo Harold shouted. Clara Sterling thinks she's the admin of this city, but we're the new meta. Let's nuke her Elder Havens. Suddenly, every screen in their bunker turned mustard yellow. What the? Who is griefing our server? Neo Harold panicked, his fingers blurring over the keyboard. A 3D hologram of Maya and Clara appeared in the center of the room. Hey, Void Simps, Maya said, her voice ice-cold. You're stream sniping the wrong generation. Your malware is poverty tier. We've already patched your exploit 3 hours ago. Who are you? Neo Harold screamed. I'm an alpha hacker. You're just kids. Clara stepped forward in the hologram. They aren't just kids, sweetie. They're my legacy patch. You see, while you were hard-coding your greed, we were deep learning your behavioral patterns. Your secret offshore accounts? Maya hijacked them 10 minutes ago. Neo Harold checked his crypto wallet. $0. No, that's my grind. That's my status. Actually, Clara smirked. That loot has already been redistributed to the pension accounts you tried to nuke. And as for your secret bunker, check your GPS cords. Outside the bunker, 10 mustard yellow security drones appeared, piloted by Clara's students from the Tactical Response class. Police AI, your license to exist on the free internet has been revoked, the drones boomed, initiating instant deplatforming and physical arrest. Cut 2, the Sterling Academy, sunset. Clara and Maya were walking through the mustard yellow gardens. The vibe was heavenly. You did good, Maya, Clara said, handing her a mustard yellow tablet. You didn't just stop a scam. You saved the net worth of 50,000 Grand Mas. That's God-tier work. I learned from the best, Madam Clara, Maya smiled. But I heard a rumor in the data stream. They say Harold Sterling is trying to write a book from prison called The Clara Glitch. He's trying to monetize his loss. Clara stopped and looked at the golden hour sun. She let out a savage chuckle. Let him write, Maya. In fact, buy the publishing company. We'll edit his book into a comedy manual, on how to fail at life. We'll use the profits to fund our next ethics lab. In this game, I don't just win. I repurpose the trash.
Maya laughed.
You're lethal, Ma. Absolute legend status. Clara adjusted her mustard yellow glasses and looked at the academy gates. The quest never ends, Maya. But as long as we keep the software of our hearts updated, the bugs like Harold can never crash our system. The United Global Court in Geneva. The architecture is high-res and intimidating. A circle of 12 billionaire whales, known as the Council of Gold, are sitting on high-seat thrones. They represent the old money system. Clara is standing in the center, alone, wearing a mustard yellow silk blazer that looks like power armor. Her aura is calm, but the air is lagging with tension. Clara had been flagged. The Council of Gold didn't like her legacy protocol. They hated that she was building elder havens and ethical academies. Why? Because it was nerfing their profits. They wanted a world where people stayed broke NPCs, so they could stay god tier. Madame Clara Sterling, the head of the council, a man named Lord Baron, who looked like he was 150 years old and lived on blood transfusions, spoke through a golden microphone. You have disrupted the global economy. You are redistributing loot that doesn't belong to you. We are auditing your 150 million. We believe your inheritance from Arthur Vance was a security risk. Clara adjusted her platinum watch. Lord Baron, you don't care about security. You care about your monopoly. Your toxic players who've been griefing the world for centuries. I'm just patching the holes you left behind. Silence. Baron rage slammed his gavel. We have a witness who claims your entire quest was built on scams. Bring in the state witness. The doors opened, and a floating chair was pushed in. Sitting in it, looking like a withered zombie, was Harold Sterling. He had a medical parole and was wearing a life support vest. He looked low-life tier, but he had a sly smirk on his face. She hacked me, Harold croaked, his voice static heavy. She used Arthur's dirty loot to delete my empire. She's a cyber terrorist. She's the final boss of evil. The council started spamming legal threats. Clara, unless you transfer your entire portfolio to this council for management, we will perma-ban you from the international banking server. Again. Cut to Clara's internal interface. Clara looked at her mustard yellow tablet. She wasn't scared. She was cooking something lethal. Council, Clara said, her voice booming through the hall. You think you can evict me from the world? You think I'm just a player in your game? You lagged behind. You forgot to update your terms of service. What are you yapping about, Clara? Baron sneered. I'm not transferring my money to you, Clara smirked, her eyes glowing with mustard yellow data. Because 5 minutes ago, I deleted the global currency you use. I've just launched the Vance Sterling coin, a hard-coded ethical currency. And guess what? 70% of the middle-class players worldwide just migrated their accounts to my server. The council's tablets started flashing red alert. What? My net worth is crashing, one billionaire screamed. The gold standard is devaluing. Clara, what have you done? I've decentralized the loot, noobs, Clara said, walking toward the council's high table. I used Arthur's $47 million as a seed file to build a transparent ledger. While you were hoarding your stash, I was building a trust protocol. The people have voted with their wallets. Your old money is now legacy junk files. Harold started glitching in his chair. No, my medical defense was in gold. If the currency crashes, I'm despawned. Correct, Harold? Clara looked at him with zero empathy. You chose to stay with the corrupt admins. Now, you're logging off for good. And, cut to, the global reaction. Outside the court, millions of people were cheering. Their phones were flashing mustard yellow. Every grandma and broke student suddenly had buying power. The economic nerf was over. Lord Baron fell back into his throne. his aura turning gray. You nuked the entire establishment, Clara. Why? Clara stopped at the exit and looked back, her mustard yellow glasses glistening in the light. Because the server was toxic, Baron. And as a queen, it's my job to reboot the world for the next gen. Oh, and Marcus? Marcus appeared at her side, holding a mustard yellow legal document. Yes, Ma? Take this council building. I want